The 4-seed Steelers host the 5-seed Texans. This is a game that I wasn't really keen to watch or even bet, but the more I think about it, the more interesting I do think it is, and we will talk all about it here as we preview the final game of the wild card round, which goes Monday night, of course. Ninja here with Nick Holz. Welcome to the channel. Hit that thumbs up and hit that subscribe button if you do not do so already, and let us know what your favorite wild card bet is in the comments section below. Let's get into it here, Nick. Steelers +3 right now. Low total, obviously, with these two in the mix, but hear me out for a second, Nick. And you don't have to spoil your pick here or anything, but are the Pittsburgh Steelers a live dog here? I know the Texans are red hot right now, but you look at the Steelers and maybe the Steelers D has been improving a bit as the season has gone on. The Texans run game, Nick, non-existent. Steelers at home. I'm not suggesting the Steelers win this, but do you think they might be live?
Yeah, I mean, they played well down the stretch, and if you believe in the betting trends, Pittsburgh's certainly alive in this one. Mike Tomlin's Steelers are well known for being great as home underdogs, and Tomlin, of course, an NFL best 25-9-3 against the spread as a home dog in his career. There's also the fact that Pittsburgh hasn't lost as a home dog or at home on Monday Night Football since 1991. So some streaks on the line on Monday night.
Maybe, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do yet for this game, but maybe the stars are aligning and we get an upset. I don't know. But DK Metcalf, Nick, returns from his 2-game suspension. So thoughts on maybe what to expect from him here? Because in my opinion, he's going to have to be big if the Steelers do have any chance here. I think Pittsburgh is going to have to take some big swings, some big risks in this game. And his total here, 55.5 receiving yards. So what do you expect from him, and what do you think of that number for DK?
Yeah, he returns just in time for a meeting with Derek Stingley and the Texans secondary. Stingley's given up just 34 catches for 499 yards on the year. And you look over to the other side, and the Texans have big, fast corner Kamari Lassiter, who can match up well with DK, and also probably the best slot guy in the game in Jalen Petrie. So I just don't think there's any way DeMeco Ryans looks at this Steelers skill position group and allows DK Metcalf to take over this football game. We saw what DK did against the Ravens last month, but I don't think we're seeing a repeat in this one. I have to fade DK here, especially with Rodgers only throwing 18 passes of 20 or more yards this season. And we've got a low total here of 39.5. So don't expect a ton of offense, folks.
So the Texans defense, just outstanding. It goes without saying. And while Aaron Rodgers certainly doesn't have the mobility that he once had and that you're used to seeing as a Packers fan, but is this just going to be a Will Anderson, Danielle Hunter show here when the Steelers have the ball, or can this Pittsburgh O-line keep up? Interesting bet here, Nick, is either of them, Will Anderson or Danielle Hunter, to have 3+ sacks, plus 700 at DraftKings right now. But your thoughts on that and your thoughts on this matchup with the Steelers O-line in the trenches here?
Yeah, the Steelers line has played really well down the stretch, but I think the Texans' menacing defense is a little bit too much here. We saw the Steelers, double and triple team Myles Garrett a couple of weeks ago and take him out of the football game, but that allowed the rest of the Browns' D-line to play really well and pressure Rodgers, and you can't really do that on one side against the Texans because, as you said, Will Anderson Jr. on one side, Danielle Hunter on the other, so it's a little bit of a pick your poison. I just think the odds are a little bit juiced for that sack prop. I mean, I think the public's going to be all over that. So I'm going one step further here. I think the Texans defense pressures Rodgers into some mistakes and betting the Texans at plus 800 to score a touchdown on defense.
Interesting. Another interesting angle here, just from an X's and O's perspective and in relation, just a potential prop bet involves Pat Freiermuth. He's really gotten really consistent production, especially the last 4 weeks of the regular season. But again, another thing this Texans defense does really well is defend against tight ends. They have been elite all season, of course. Pretty sure Trey McBride was the only one maybe to give them any real issues when he went off a few weeks back. But your thoughts, Nick, on Freiermuth unders here, maybe? His over-under set at 34.5 for this? Or do you think, Nick, that maybe because of what you just talked about with the wide receiver depth there with Pittsburgh, do you think maybe Rodgers leans a little bit on the tight ends here for Pittsburgh?
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there. 34 and a half yards, a little bit too low for me to back the under in this one, especially because Freiermuth the last couple weeks has at least 3 receptions and over 50 yards in back-to-back games. I just think that having DK outside also opens up some space for Freiermuth to go to work, and Rodgers has been taking those seam shots down the middle to him. A reception of at least 29 yards also in back-to-back games. So I actually like him to have a great game, and I would advise caution if you're looking to bet the under on Freiermuth here.
We'll get your official pick in a second here, Nick. But for the folks at home, you can spice up your NFL playoff betting opportunities with Prop Professor, because right now you can get it for 50% off for the very first month. You can get hundreds of plus EV bets every day. You have a real shot at finding long-term profit. NFL, college football, NBA, the NHL, plenty more leagues all covered here on the app. There's a great arbitrage tool. There's a great fantasy optimizer. Easily the best bang for buck app on the market compared to some of the competition out there. So use the promo code SHARK50 at checkout and get 50% off for that first month. We talk about the numbers here, Nick. Steelers +3 at home. Either side right now, -110 there. Total low, 39.5. Either side of that, -110 as well. Texans -162 on the money line, with the Steelers coming back at +136. Talk a little bit about the X's and O's here and some of those props that are out there, but what do you like for your game pick here?
Yeah, and we talked about Rodgers playing really well down the stretch, but over the past 3 weeks, he's averaged just 5.7 yards per attempt, and that's just not going to work against Houston. If Rodgers has to check the football down all game, the Texans are going to eat him and the Steelers alive. I think the Texans defense wins this football game outright. I'm on the Texans money line, -166. The last time we saw Rodgers go up against a DeMeco Ryans coach defense in the playoffs, he lost the game 13-10, was sacked 5 times, and failed to throw a touchdown. So I think the Texans defense squeezes the life out of Pittsburgh on Monday night.